everybody. Woohoo. Welcome to our Friday lunchtime chat. It's been 2 weeks. I feel like it's been forever. I've missed you all, and I hope you've been having a really good summer. I snuck away to the Oregon coast for a few days with my husband's family, and it was a blast. I also got 2 major projects done that had kind of been languishing on my needles. And that was a relief to get these 2 things done. Now they're on display in the store for everybody to see, and I can cross them off my list. So I'd love to hear what you guys have been up to in the 2 weeks since we last talked. So you can let me know in the comments what you're working on, etc. I have so many things to tell you that I'm sure I'm going to forget at least half of them. So let's see. Oh, I'll start off with showing you the projects I finished on our little beach vacation. So first up, this is the Arabella Cowl. Isn't this gorgeous? This is full of color. And it's like kind of like a stitch sampler as you're working it. You know, where you get to try little things, and just about the time you're supremely bored of that technique, you get to move on. You know what? Hey guys, I'm using a new microphone today, and can you hear me? If you can hear me pretty decently, can you just give me a thumbs up? I haven't tested it out in the Facebook video application, so I'll see if you guys are hearing me okay. Ingrid, thank you. So yeah, so this is knit out of Rowan's brushed alpaca, and it uses, allow me to count, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. I think it's 6 total skeins. Okay, perfect. Everybody can hear. I think you need 2 skeins of your main color, the color that you do the ribbing in the beginning and the end in, and then 4 other colors. And so it's really fun. So there's this, there is no 2-color work. So I know it looks like there's 2-color work in here, but there's not. It's very tricky, very tricky. It's actually slip stitch. So you do, what you get basically kind of like a mosaic pattern, uses 2 colors. You slip stitches from the row below that brings color up from the row below. So you're never actually using more than just 1 color in each round. Anyways, it was fun. It's beautiful, and it is going to be damn cozy once the temperatures drop. So that's Rowan brushed alpaca, and it's called the Arabella Cowl. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, Arabella, Arabella Cowl. It's actually written for this yarn. So check it out. We'll have it on display at the shop. And actually yesterday or Wednesday, we got 4 new colors of the brushed alpaca. So I think it's up to 16 colors now. Lots to choose from. Great neutrals to choose to be your background in this one, and lots of great colors of pop. So thank you for letting me know you guys can hear me. So I'll show you the other thing that I finished. This one was kind of a bigger labor of love. Make sure I have it right side facing you. Here we go. This is Birds of a Feather. So this is one of those really fun triangle shapes that is created by knitting a center spine where a double decrease is worked the whole time. You can see the spine coming to an end right here. This is an Andrea Mowry pattern. It was originally published in Lina issue 2, 3, something like that. It's now available as an individual purchase on Ravelry, and it calls for the Farmer's Daughter Foxy Lady, which is a merino silk fingering, and the Farmer's Daughter Mighty Mo, which is the mohair silk laced fingering. And we happen to have both of those at the store. So I thought this would make a great shop sample. And if you need a project where you can do a lot of just garter stitch, the only thing you really have to keep track of in this one is that center spine and the ends of the rows. And then it's got just a couple of little bit of feather and fan sections that you work in there to keep things interesting. So it's a beautiful shawl that doesn't require a whole lot of concentration. And I know it's nice to have a good mix of projects going so that you've got some that are a little bit mindless and some that you can focus more on. So anyways, both of those now available to come and see in the shop or try on. So this week in the shop, it was like Christmas. This is the time of year that always catches me by surprise because even though I'm the one that ordered all the yarn, in other words, I know it's coming, I'm always surprised when it starts to show up like, oh, look at this box. Oh, look at this box. And so Jill and Laura had a heyday on Wednesday when all the big boxes started to pour in, and they were opening up these boxes, and they managed to get it all put away by Wednesday afternoon, which is remarkable. So some of the cool things that just came, I'm going to show you now because they are so yummy. I'm going to start at the very top of the line here with Sultana Fine. Can you see the luster on this yarn? Okay, so this beauty is kind of like the kid sister to a yarn that Rowan made a couple years ago called Sultano. And that was a bulky weight yarn. They're expensive yarns. This is $55 a skein. However, the Sultana Fine kid sister here is DK weight with 246 yards. So you get way more bang for your buck with a single skein of this yarn than you did with the bulky yarn. It's really easy to do. There's lots of accessories you can do with a single skein. You can do a cowl, you can do a hat. Rowan, if you go to our website and you look at Sultana Fine, there is a link there to this free pattern booklet that Rowan's published that has patterns for Sultana Fine, including a couple of sweaters. One of those sweaters, which is a cardigan, I won at a Rowan event to be made in my size. I got to pick anything to be made in my size, and I picked that sweater, so maybe to their chagrin. At any rate, at some point this fall, that sweater should be on display at the shop. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a cute little waist-length cardigan. So yeah, Sultana Fine. I could just eat it. Oh my God, you guys, you have no idea. So here, I'll give you the breakdown. It is, oh, they have new labels. I can't read. 54% silk, 28% mohair, 18% cashmere. Yum. I'll take a bed full of Sultana Fine, please. Okay, so then next in the Ultra Luxe Rowan box, we come to Rowan Cashmere Haze. Look at this Molly Ringwald circa 1984 combo. I don't know if the light gets it right, but it's basically like a really light pale brown, a pale pink, and a chocolate brown. Hello. I am going to make a shop sample with this yarn that is a new pattern from Church Mouse called the, oh, shoot. Oh, here it is. It's not called the shoot. It's called the Pretty Perfect Square. And here's my really crappy printout of it. But that gives you an idea. And it's basically a giant square that you can fold over and wear like a kerchief in a million different ways that you put these diagonal stripes on by the way that you knit it. And it's written for Kid Silk Haze. It's going to be amazing in the mohair, in the cashmere haze. So this fiber breakdown is 40% alpaca, 30% cashmere, 30% silk. Seriously. And it's a 25-gram ball with 250 yards. So very similar to Cashmere Haze. You could substitute this for any pattern that's calling for Cashmere Haze. And you would love it. It would be the most amazing thing ever. I'm not seeing all these. There we go. Hey, yes, a bathtub full. I'm so sorry. The comments weren't scrolling, so I didn't even realize they were happening. Hey, Connie. Glad you can join us. All right. So I'm sure you're so sick of cashmere by now, right? No, never. Nobody. Nobody ever said that. So next up, also arriving this week, is a new to us yarn. I think it's been out a couple years now, or maybe it's just been out 1 year. And that is this gorgeousness. This is Blue Sky Fibers Eco Cashmere, and this feels amazing. It's a DK weight cashmere, and it has 164 yards per skein, retails for 34. And and the Cashmere Haze from Rowan was 30. This yarn is so yummy. It just feels amazing. Jill's working up a shop sample hat, so you know it's going to be done probably in 15 minutes. So this yarn is actually made half recycled cashmere from the garment industry. So they're taking the ends, the leftovers, the mill rejects basically, and they're reprocessing that down, and then they're joining it with 50% virgin cashmere and spinning that into a yarn. So it's kind of cool because it's, you know, it also is just helping regain some of that lost fiber that happens when, you know, when textiles are made. So it's totally yarn porn, huh, Ingrid? This is not a dirty channel, I promise. Oh, but the cashmere. So this gorgeousness, DK Eco Cashmere from Blue Sky Fibers. Okay, and then we're going to finish our cashmere tour with this gorgeousness. Ha! It is really yummy. Okay, so this is our lowest cashmere content of all the new cashmere yarns, and this is Rowan's Cashmere Tweed, and it's a little 25-gram ball of with 96 yards. It's DK weight, and it is 80% wool and 20% cashmere. So it's just enough to give it that ultra soft hand. So good. And Jill's working on Andrea Mowry's tincture hat in the cashmere tweed. So we will shortly have a sample up for that as well. So yeah, this, and it comes in gorgeous colors, and you know, tweed doesn't always feel amazing. And it's a problem we've run into repeatedly in the shop where people are asking for tweed. Can you get a tweed? I need a worsted tweed. I want a tweed. I want to make a sweater in tweed. We get tweed and then they're like, oh, it's scratchy. So even yarns that we really adored, like Peace Fleece, you know, they kind of had that, if they aren't super soft appealing, and you know, when people touch them, they tend just not to move as well. So this one, not going to have that problem. So yeah, that was all the Rowan yarns, and then the little Eco Cashmere from Blue Sky. And then we have two other Blue Sky yarns. This one's not new. It's just new to us. So we have a new worsted in the shop. This is Woolstock. Gorgeous. I brought you kind of a mulberry color and a acid green to show off here. And this is a light worsted weight. It would easily fit the bill for a DK also. And it kind of knits at a wide range of gauges. They've got it kind of all over the map with a size 6 to an 11 needle, but it tends to typically be classified as a worsted, and it comes in a whole bunch of beautiful colors. It might be I think it's 18 colors, 20 colors, something like that. And so we got all of the colors in. And this is a 50-gram skein with 123 yards. It retails for $10. So it's super affordable. If you like Scout from Kelborn Woolens, this is just a slightly heavier version of that. And I mean, it's not, they're not made in the same place, but it kind of reminds me of that. And it's got some of those heather colors. And I think it's going to be a really hot go-to sweater yarn for people this fall and winter. It's going on my list. I know that. So, okay. Rounding out this week's debut yarns is the brand new Blue Sky Fibers painted cotton. So you're probably all familiar with Blue Sky's organic cotton, and they've just released painted cotton. So it's kind of like a spray dyed melange in cotton. It's like painted on literally onto the yarn. And so it creates a really fun kind of marled effect. And it's the same organic cotton that you know and love from them that is just soft and beautiful, also knits to a wide range of gauges. And so now there's fun new colors in the painted cotton. So that was the tour of all the new yarns that we just got this week. Next week there's more. So just keep coming in and seeing all the new stuff. And since we're talking about new yarns, if you want to get your hands on all of these yarns, you can sign up right now to be on the wait list for our virtual yarn tasting. So this is a new thing we're going to be offering, which is the virtual classes, the virtual courses and events. So if you're interested in participating in that, if you go to our homepage right across the top, the first banner that comes up, that'll take you to the place where you can put your email in to be notified when the registration goes live for the virtual yarn tasting. We'll have all of those yarns in the yarn tasting, and then also like 12 more, maybe 15 more. I don't even think I had 8 here. So there'll be a ton of yarns, and we will be sending you those yarns, and then we'll do a video kind of like what I just did here, but with more in depth. We'll talk about swatching, we'll talk about the fiber content, the yarn, what it's good for, etc. So stay tuned to that. If you want to make sure that you get in on that, you can go to our website and click the link to put your email in to be notified when the registration goes live for that. So I'm actually really looking forward to that. I think that is going to be super fun to do that yarn tasting. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, I just wanted to point out, if you did not see this week's email that went out on Wednesday, I shared in there a video from our YouTube channel that I've made on weaving in ends. And I know that might seem kind of like a thing, but it's actually something I get asked about surprisingly often. I think knitters, we get taught like the main things we need to cast on, we need to make the knit stitch, maybe we need to decrease or learn something else. But those kind of little techniques, those little end finishing types of things don't always get covered explicitly when you're learning. And so you kind of figure out for yourself, you make it up as you go. You figure, okay, I think this is probably what I'm supposed to do. But people ask a lot, like, is there actual rules about weaving in ends? And no, there's no rules. There's no, just like with knitting, there's no knitting police, but there is best practices. So I did a little video, and it's on our YouTube channel, just on how I like to weave my ends in, especially if I'm in the middle of the work. I don't always wait to the edge of whatever I'm working on to leave an end to weave in later, because I'm all about maximizing the yarn. So, but I feel confident enough in my weaving in skills that I don't mind joining yarn in the middle of my fabric, even if it's going to be in the front of my sweater. So if you're interested in checking that out, head over to our YouTube channel. You'll find it there. Oh, I wanted to show you something really quick that I started. I started on my trip with Marie a couple of weeks ago, or a month ago, whatever it was, when we got away for a few days. But then I haven't had a chance to work on it because I was trying to finish those other shop samples up. But can you believe this? I've never done mosaic knitting before. I don't know how. Okay, so there's 3 things that I think I've never done before. And one was mosaic. The other is steeking, haven't done that, and then double knitting. So I plan to do a steeked sweater as soon as they put the pattern in my hands. It's going to be a new Kelborn. It says my video paused due to bad internet connection. I hope that you guys are still able to follow along. Shoot, is anyone still able to join? Is anyone watching right now? Well, this is pooey. I haven't had this happen before. We shouldn't have any problem with the wireless because we're on fiber connection here. Well, you guys, I'm really sorry if this is petered out for you. I guess we'll show this this little work in progress off next week. So if you're still there, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna cut it out. Dang it. It's back? Okay, it's still telling me it's connecting. I'm just gonna keep talking and I'm gonna show you. Okay. So this is my mosaic. It's a shawl. It's called Meet Me at Midnight. Here, get it flatter. And I'm actually just doing it in a workhorse yarn, Barocco Ultra Wool DK. And I'll have that on display at the shop soon, I'm sure. So that's what I'm working on right now. I just want to make one more quick note that if you go to the website, we've got a new feature on our website, a new thing we're doing now called featured FOs, so featured finished objects. And if you go to resources and scroll down, then it's got featured FOs. And we'll be posting one a week. Right now we've got the Carbeth that Jill did and the, oh my gosh, Sultana crop that Jill did. And then coming up will be Foxtrot. And so basically what that is a page that's got the photo of our sample. It's got notes about the sample and where to get the pattern. And it's got all of the information on what you would need to make it like we made it. So the yarn that we use, how much you need, the needles, etc. And then the links to those things are right there. So little fun, something that you can play around with and experiment with on our website. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope somebody's still there, can hear me. It's still telling me that I'm not connected, but yeah, whatever. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend full of knitting and crocheting and fiber and yarn and all of that goodness. And I'll see you next Friday. Bye.